Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be doing a demonstration of our Community Action Academy and the Learning Community application. My name is Courtney Kohler. I'm the Senior Associate on the Training and Technical Assistance team here at the Partnership, and I'm going to be guiding you through this demonstration on how to apply for the Learning Community. So just to give you a bit of information, the Community Action Academy is our new online learning management system on the Moodle platform. So it will serve as one of the primary learning tools across all of our Learning Community Resource Center offerings. And we're going to have you all dive right in using this platform right off the bat to be able to host our application process for the Learning Community. So first, we're going to begin by visiting the moodle.communityactionpartnership.com URL. So you'll type this URL you see here on your screen into your browser, and then you'll come to a web page that looks like this. And whenever you reach this, you will actually ignore the first part where it says username and password, and you'll go down to the bottom where it asks if this is your first time here. Then you'll create a new account by clicking on the button below. Once you click that button, you'll end up going to a form that looks like this for creating a new account. You'll enter in what your username is going to be. Then you'll enter in your password. Then it asks for a few more details, so you'll need to enter in your email address. You'll enter in that twice, and this is a very important part because this is also how your account is confirmed and also how we can communicate with you as well. Then you'll enter in some information about your name and location. Then you'll hit Create My New Account. Within minutes, you should receive an email that looks something like this. If it doesn't come within, I would say within about an hour, then go ahead and email me, Courtney Kohler, ckohler@communityactionpartnership.com. But this account, it'll come from Moodle, is what it'll say in the sender space, and it's a no reply email address. But then, of course, my email address as the site administrator on the Community Action Partnership team is listed there for you as well. Once you receive this email, you will click the link provided to confirm your new account. Once you do that, it'll take you to a browser that will acknowledge the confirmation of your Moodle account and allow you to log in directly. Also, be sure to check your spam or junk folders if you are having trouble finding the email. If your email has pretty tight security and is not familiar with this address, it is fairly reasonable that it has gone to a spam or junk folder. So then once that is done, you should be able to log in using your username and password that you just created. So make sure you take note of that when you're creating your account. And then you'll be taken to the Moodle homepage. So we're going to go ahead and do that demonstration now, and I'm going to share my screen and walk through this. So you should now be seeing my screen, and you can see that I'm at the moodle.communityactionpartnership.com. And in here, I'm just entering in this basic account that I've created to show you all how to navigate this application. So type in my username, my password, and then I hit login. Once you enter the site, just to show you a little bit about what you see on the first screen, you will go down and you'll see our site news, a little bit about the Moodle platform and the Community Action Academy. We will, just so you all know, we will be adding courses over time that are related to Roma Next Generation, organizational standards, and more. So we're primarily starting out with the learning communities, but we will be really making this a partnership-wide learning platform. So then if you go down and you see under available courses, this is where we'll be going here in a few moments, but also want to call to your attention that we also have an on-demand course already available for you. It's about 2Gen in the rural context, and it's a little bit of a review of one of our learning communities that's still going from the previous cycle on rural impact. Then if you scroll back up, there's also a site menu with this little menu box here. And you can navigate through your dashboard once you've enrolled in various courses, calendar to stay up to date on all of the learning community deadlines, meetings, and such as we get rolling into this third cycle of learning community. And then private files is anything that you've uploaded onto the Moodle site that only you can see in your account. But for today's purposes, those are not necessary. So for today's purposes, we just want to see the application. So the easiest way to get here is if you go through course categories and you go to Learning Communities. As you scroll down, this will really be that landing page that you're going to encounter as you engage in the learning community throughout the next several months. Right now, really all we have available is the application and that 2Gen course. So after you click into the Learning Community application, you'll see this application for the 2018 Learning Community. And what you need to do is first enroll in the course. So you're going to click on it. It'll give you some enrollment options. And down here where it says Self-Enrollment Student, you just need to click Enroll Me. All right. So then we get into the application. And as you get into it, you'll see that there's a welcome and an overview. So it's good to read through this information first. Kind of gives you an idea of what the learning community is and whether the learning community is for you to make sure you're at the right place. Then as you scroll down, there's this learning community framework graphic to learn a little bit more about how the first year of the learning community is going to operate and what's involved. Then you can scroll down and you can see what learning opportunities are available for you. So first of all, we have our open learning community groups. There's 4 available there. And these are really going to really focus in on the knowledge building phase of the learning community and are open to anyone in the network. So the commitment is fairly low. They last for about 3 to 6 months in duration and are really focused in on those webinars we're going to be conducting on Wednesdays. But we still ask you to apply because we'd like to know who's involved. And there's also some optional affinity groups that are going to be available for those. Next, you'll see our intensive learning community groups. We have 3 available there. These involve a little bit more with the application process. So I'll go over that in just a moment. Communities of practice are kind of the next step up, which also involves a little bit more of the application process. So those are the 3 levels of engagement that you have. So this framework here, I encourage you to read through all of that to give you an idea of what the intensive learning community groups will be going through over the next year. And then as you scroll down, the application instructions are included. So to complete the application, please ensure that you read through the application package very thoroughly. Then you're going to fill out the SurveyMonkey application. So this piece, and I'll go ahead and click on it, and it's going to pull up a separate box over here so that you can continue working on your application in the main browser. But as you pull this up, this is actually for any of the learning community groups that you are applying for. So whether you're applying for an open learning community group, an intensive learning community group, or a community of practice, you must fill out the SurveyMonkey application. So this is what it looks like when you get there. After you have completed this step, and of course read through the application package, you can go ahead and submit this, close it out, and then you will come back to your application for the 2018 Learning Community. So after you're in this, you might be wondering, okay, how do I get back to the actual application? Well, this LCRC app right here will always take you back to the main application page. So we'll go ahead and click on that and scroll back down to the application instructions. You can also access the SurveyMonkey application here, which will actually just pop out to its own browser as well. So there's a couple different ways to make sure it's very accessible. And then this downloadable piece right here, this Learning Community application package. Both of these you will want to make sure are completed. Then, if you are applying for an open learning community group and you've completed those 2 pieces, you are now done. But if you are applying for an intensive learning community group, the next step would be to submit your letter of commitment. So you want to pull out this first blank letter of commitment. So it'll pop out in another box for you, and you can print it straight from here. You will need to print this to be able to fill it out unless you have an electronic signature option on Adobe or something like that, because it does require a signature as well as a printed name, and then of course your date and organization, and then of course your organization at the top as well. So then you will submit this letter of commitment to whichever learning community group you're applying to. So next we are going to demonstrate how to upload your intensive learning community group letter of commitment submission. Now, if you are applying for multiple learning community groups, you will need to make sure that you not only submit a letter of commitment for each one that you're applying for, but also you will need to fill out the SurveyMonkey application for each one as well. So we're going to demonstrate this through the financial empowerment for families. So you go in and it'll say there's been no attempt, but we want to add a submission. And so I'm going to, you can just drag and drop your files, or you can click this little upload button here to access your files. So I'm going to find this in the folder that I've saved it in. And one important note is that we would like to have all of the files named similarly. So you'll see here, let's see if I can list it. There we go. So this view here that we have where you can see the document name, we would like for all of these to include the name of the learning community group that you're applying for, letter of commitment, and then your agency after a dash, so that we can kind of easily track which ones these match to. So this is for both the community of practice as well as the intensive learning community groups. Make sure you put your group name, LCG or community of practice, letter of commitment, your agency name. After that, you save changes. And as you can see that it's still draft, it has not been submitted. So if you actually exit out of this screen right now, we will never receive what you have put in here. It is still only on your end. As you can see, the time remaining until the deadline is 32 days, and that's until the January 12th deadline. But if you go down and scroll down, you'll see the submit assignment. So this is what will bring the document to us at the Learning Community Resource Center. So whenever you're submitting, you want to say, of course, we know it's probably your own work, but this kind of is just your second acknowledgement that you are applying for the Learning Community Group, that this is your agency, so you have the right to apply for this. And then you continue. You will not be able to make any further changes after this. It might take a bit, depending on the file size and how many other people are using the system at the time. All right, so then you see that it is submitted. And just a note here also is that you will receive an email confirming your submission with the email that you provided to create your account. And so that will confirm the upload and submission of your document. So keep that in your files just for your records. And once you receive that email, then your application to the Learning Community is complete. So you have till close of business on January 12th, 2018 to complete the process. And of course, if you have any questions or issues with the process or the Community Action Academy site, please let us know. Reach out to any of the members of the LCRC team or specifically myself, Courtney Kohler, and I can help you with Moodle. And we really appreciate you joining us for this demonstration today, and hope that many of you are going to be applying for the Learning Community. It really can be a wonderfully worthwhile and transformative experience. And that's speaking from experience, actually, participating in previous Learning Community. So just to kind of note where all of our contact information is down here at the bottom of the screen, you can simply click on these links to email us directly. Now, one final note, the Community of Practice letter of commitment submission, same process as what I went through for the intensive, but this logic model and theory of change upload, it is optional, but it is strongly encouraged because the application process for the Community of Practice is going to be pretty competitive. Only 10 agencies will be able to get in. And so the more you're able to kind of show that you're ready for this, the better. So Thank you all for joining us today again, and we appreciate your participation and interest, and we'll see you online.